How you doing?
Good,
Okay. Can you, do you have any feedback on what I called about?
I'm not going to get into the whole political diatribe that your voicemail ended with.
Okay.
I did do a little bit of research on the school bus thing that you're dealing with and with Delhi. I mean, the ORC defines it, which I'm sure you already read, as a roadway, which can be construed a couple different ways, but I actually put a phone call into Bill Murphy, and he said that they're going to start doing it on the lot now that you were concerned with, just from a safety standpoint.
Here's my concern with that, sir. I'd like to get your feedback. I appreciate it. Even the part about the, whatever you said about my political stuff. I appreciate all the feedback. The problem with Bill Murphy's response, as I understand it, is he talked to that bus driver and said, in essence, to start using your lights and your stop sign in that situation. The problem with that is if we have turnover in bus driver, or we have a turnover in Bill Murphy, or God forbid we have a turnover in both of them, we're revisiting that same problem. The number two thing is it lacks accountability. It sounds like what Bill Murphy set up is that if a bus driver decides to keep not using their lights that I'm alleging law requires, that there's no real accountability. There's no policy violation. They claim there's no law violation. And so what I think it needs to happen is a holistic solution, which in my opinion includes modifying your policy so that if they do violate it, it's not just, oh, they stopped doing what the head of security told them to do. It's, oh, they've now violated policy. And the other thing I think that needs to happen is that they need to update their training material, as well as I've received no feedback. If there's another scenario, I have no inclination that they did any investigation to find out if there's another location with different Oak Hills Local School District bus drivers that are committing that same safety violation that haven't been informed that they should now start using their lights in that situation. And so for all those reasons, it's a failed holistic solution. And I'd like to just get your feedback on what you think of those, of that feedback from me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a school district decision that we don't have any jurisdiction over. But if you're going to do it for one place, it should be a district-wide thing, so that there's, with all drivers, all routes, all buses, so that there's no confusion moving forward. But that, like I said, that's just my opinion.
I really appreciate that, and you've already gone above and beyond, by the way, what I thought. But just on your opinion on policy, would that make sense that if you're not going to have a law enforcement mechanism to have accountability, that it would make sense to you, just in your opinion, that a policy and training manual update would make sense?
Seems reasonable to me, yeah.
I appreciate that, sir. I really do.
All right, and I appreciate you giving us a heads up that you were going to be over there. I guess you didn't make it yesterday from what I heard, but yeah, in the future, if you just want to leave a message with our secretaries up front, whoever answers the phone, we appreciate that moving forward, just so we know you're going to be there. And I know we know what your rights are and what you're able to do, so knock yourself out. It's a good day for it.
That sounds good. And that keeps me away from Green Township. I don't know if I'm actually doing good work with government accountability, then maybe that's not good for Green Township, but for somebody in government, it saves you a little bit of work. I think I heard that Delhi Township and the PD department alone, they wanted to charge me like $327 for a video with that new law that came out for my own public record. And I ended up doing public records requests that are required to provide for free, that I heard there's $60,000 into providing me those services. And that's just this year alone, just one department. But I appreciate the call back, sir, and I hope that I never have to run into you in any kind of I got in trouble situation. I do try and follow the law, and y'all been really good in Green Township. I had a small incident, but I appreciate you calling back. I don't want to take any more of your time. I have a rambling problem, so.
Rich, I appreciate it. Anything else, give me a shout, okay?
Sounds good. So in the haste of that moment, so that's Green Township Lieutenant Sabers, I believe. I'm up in Delhi Park, so I had to park real quick to make sure I could record the conversation. I didn't know who it was or why it was coming in. And he seems to basically agree with what I think is common sense. What I didn't nail him down on, and he even said he looked into it, and I ain't going to call him back because it was such good service he just provided. But the other thing I really would have liked to capture is I didn't get from him whether he considers that a roadway or not. I don't think I did. It's early. I had 2 hours sleep, I think. So I didn't get his feedback on whether he considers that a roadway or not. But at this point in the process, the important feedback is going to be from the prosecutor's office and from the Delhi Township Police Department investigatory body or whatever. And I guess it also going to depend on what really matters is what Elk Hills does with it. Why they wouldn't do what Lieutenant Sabers and I just had a conversation about. That's pretty much what I'm asking, in addition to an apology for being treated and put down on the public square, if you will, by one of their employees whose my taxes help pay for. Of which, in a free society, what I would do is I would just freely choose not to associate with them. I wouldn't pay the taxes, and I wouldn't get the education services. And then what I might do, what I more likely would do, would take some of that money, maybe more of that money, at least a big portion of that money, and I give it to the individual families or kids that I thought needed more. Yeah, that's what would happen in a free society, but I'm forced in this slave society to pay for those services because she was on the clock. I paid her to ream me out is basically what happened in essence. And so that's Lieutenant Sabers. He's got good feedback on another one. When I described the rapid run situation, which Delhi Township Police Department still seems to think that's a crime, Lieutenant Sabers of Green Township seemed to be more constitutional. And this is all allegedly. Everything I say is allegedly, in my opinion. So peace and love. We'll try and get this one out here soon. I got food to eat. And bless you all. Bless you.